And our team coverage continues now with News 10's Heather Good. Heather, thank you so much for joining
Absolutely.
us. I know it's been a very long couple of days for you. I guess let's talk about the back and forth the legal battle that's been going on.
Right.
What did that take on, what's kind of a toll did that take on you and the other members of the media that you dealt with?
Well, it was definitely very difficult to deal with. It was definitely very frustrating. I mean, you have to remember that we were called out to the media center. That opened at 2 o'clock yesterday. The execution was scheduled for 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Again, did not happen until 16 hours after that fact. So it was back and forth. Yesterday, we were told we were allowed to leave the media center. We came back only to leave again. And I've said this a couple times now, which I think is just so interesting, that we were literally on a group text message with all the other media witnesses and the Bureau of Prisons so that we could be notified if this execution were to move forward, because the BOP stance this entire time has been that they're ready to go. So last night we left it as we don't know what's going to happen. We're on standby. And then before 2:30 this morning, I got a text message and a phone call to say, come on back. We're going to do this at 4 o'clock. And that wasn't even the last delay, because we got through the process again. We were in the death chamber building just after 4 o'clock and still sat in there for more than 3 hours before this execution happened this morning.
And when you're in there for that 3 or 4 hours, were you able to know what was going on?
Absolutely not, because again, you have to remember, we're not allowed to take our cell phones in there. So the news that you all were hearing outside of those prison walls, we had no access to. So when we initially got into that room, there was just a flurry of, note-taking, jotting down every possible detail of the room that we were in, thinking that this was going to begin quickly. We were wrong, and we sat in there for 3 hours, again, not knowing what was happening.
Probably getting a little sleepy, and then the next thing you know, you get the word that they're coming.
Correct. Actually, one of the Bureau of Prisons information officers was getting ready to leave the room to see if she could get more information for us, and before she could even get out the door, she said, oh wait. We turned around and that curtain was lifting, and we were all then focused on those windows.
And then from there, what did you see? What did you feel?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer, because when you think about what do you feel as a journalist, I'm thinking I just want to get every possible note down.
Right.
I want to see everything I possibly can so I can come out and share that information. And essentially what we saw, again, was that curtain rise. Daniel Lewis Lee was already on the gurney, laying there facing the media area. Again, these rooms in the death chamber are divided up, so the media was all in one room, and he lifted his head and looked directly into our area as he was giving his final words. That
had to be, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for there
I'm
is.
not sure I have a word for it yet either, because I don't think I've had enough time to really process what that was like for me.
Sure. Well, we look forward to your reports down the road, and we thank you so much for your time this
Thank you,
afternoon.
John.
All right.